Kickers and punters have one of the most thankless jobs in the NFL. Take the legend that is Pat McAfee, for example. But for the Seattle Seahawks, their dynamic duo of Jason Myers and Michael Dixon has been one of the most efficient tandems in the NFL.
They're both fantastic, just super mature.
I just want to ask, do you recognize this suit at all?
No way! You scored one.
I got one.
Let's go.
So yeah, obviously
you're a little bigger guy than me here
I know.
too. Did you fit into it? Okay.
Honestly, it's a little tight. I mean, you're much more fit than I am.
I used to hit the weight room, you know.
It's the second time the Super Bowl is being played at Levi Stadium, and on Sunday, after either the Patriots or the Seahawks lift the Vince Lombardi Trophy, it marks only the start of a very busy sporting year for the Bay Area.
For me, this started a decade ago after Super Bowl 50.
But it's about the mental side of the game that could be the most important. On Monday, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announced that there will be 9 international regular season games in 2026. He announced a return to Mexico City, a return to Madrid, and for the first time ever, the NFL will play a game in Paris. Last time we had a rookie kicker in the big game was Jake Moody for the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 48 against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Niners couldn't get the job done on that day. Regardless, and the Patriots will hope it'll be a different story against the Seahawks on Sunday. Reporting from San Francisco, Nicholas Waley, Newhouse Sports. A tough win, but a big win for Syracuse in its quest for a place in the NCAA tournament, 68-64 over Clemson. Welcome back to the Qs.com post-game show. Alongside Nathaniel Cunningham, I'm Nicholas Waley. And Nate, this is a game that for a while we thought Syracuse just had control, but in the second half, the Tigers really started knocking on the door and eventually even took the lead over the Orange.
Yeah, this was a Clemson.
Struggled at home so far, winless in its first 4.
One team that really hasn't struggled is Stanford, particularly going forward. 13 goals in total, and Alfonso Tenconi-Gradias had 2 against St. Mary's. He knows a thing or two about scoring goals.
He still has that striker's instinct.
Over UAlbany, we're lucky to be joined now by Syracuse guard Dominique Darius. Dominique, thank you so much for joining us. Early on in that first half, it felt like the team just needed that spark. Did you feel like you needed to give that to your team, and did that give everyone the confidence to just dominate today?
I mean, for sure. I mean, I always try to come out the game being aggressive.
The other thing that wasn't on our stat sheet is the bench points for Clemson. The starting 5 for the Tigers weren't good. They only scored 8 of Clemson's points, 20 bench points in total. I mean, what does that say about the depth of this Clemson team to get them back in the game?
Well, Clemson relied on that bench to even get them out of the starting game.
A former Syracuse football star is back in upstate New York. Welcome to NCC Sports. I'm Nicholas Waley. While it isn't the first time that former Syracuse star Sean Tucker was back in upstate New York, the Buccaneers number 44 had a career game at the stadium closest to his alma mater against the Buffalo Bills. And the Bucs needed Tucker in a big way because, once again, Josh Allen, he just looks like a perennial MVP candidate. Look at this throw to Tyrell Shavers. What a catch for his first touchdown as a professional football player. Now, before we get a little bit too excited, we're only a few days into this new era of Jerry McNamara leading Syracuse basketball, and we don't even know who's going to be on his coaching staff, let alone his roster. But as far as first press conferences go, it couldn't have gone much better. At his first public appearance as head coach in front of a packed house inside Myron Victory Court, new athletic director Brian Blair said it himself, quote, "Let's understand the magnitude of this moment when introducing his new head basketball coach." More than anything, McNamara looked comfortable on that stage, and I mean, he was even cracking Step Brothers jokes with his new boss.
Same mentality, same goals.
The second and final exhibition game for Syracuse men's basketball didn't go as smoothly as you might expect. The Orange came away with a 75-57 win over Division II Pace. The Setters were only behind the Qs by 2 at halftime, and the Orange required a 16-0 run led by debutant Sadiq White to come away with the win. Head coach Adrian Autry expected even more from his freshmen in what was an overall disappointing team performance.
I thought he had some flashes again. I still think he could have been better.
In the final 90 seconds, the game wasn't completely done. Syracuse was within about 10 points and yet elected not to foul. It felt like a collective give-up button
for the game and possibly the season. Head coach Adrian Autry's message to the fans after the game was, this group isn't giving up just yet. There's plenty of opportunities ahead, but at this time, that's a very tough sell.
This group will keep fighting. The coaching staff will keep fighting.
Well, Duke really shot the lights out tonight, and there were a few options today for our OPP player of the game, but it has to be the guy who's going to be a lottery pick in this year's NBA draft. Cameron Boozer continues to improve game after game, and all those skeptical about his pro potential are getting proven wrong by the minute. A smooth 22 points and his 14th double-double of the season. Like Nick Zuppi said, this Duke team looks set to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament this year, and Cam Boozer is at the heart of it. He might be the best player in the country, and his performance tonight makes a pretty compelling argument.
To me, at this juncture of the match.
Thomas Hutt forced to come off his line and sends it into the stands. And Hutt maybe could have got that more upfield, and it now puts Syracuse on the back foot with Stanford with a throw on the near side in their half.
I'm with you. Hutt wasn't under as much pressure as he initially anticipated, I believe. Could have really looked downfield to keep it in.
Oh, sliding challenge. Ming skips away from it. It's 2 against 1 here. Sakil Ming. The ball was heavy for Nuto Nucci. Up against Taconi Gradius. Nuto Nucci goes all the way to the back post. Again, the final ball for Syracuse lets him down. Quarter of an hour to go. Syracuse and Stanford locked at 1 apiece. Jonah Leibold has come down here. And in his first start in almost a year, maybe a little bit of cramp for the German. One of 2 players left from the 2022 National Championship winning side. Leibold, who played a major part in that, played all 22 games in that championship season, and making his first start in 358 days, is back to his feet.
And all 5 of Leibold's goals with Syracuse were in that national championship season. So you're right, you know, it's only him and Wig left from that team that won it all. And that was only 3 years ago. That shows you the amount of turnover they've had. But to have him back in the fold goes a long way as just a veteran presence for a combination of a young group and a lot of new guys who have come in as transfers, like Bright Nudernucci and Tim Bradarich.
It's a Syracuse roster that stretches the globe. 6 players on the roster come from Africa. You've got Sakil Ming, who comes from Bermuda in the Caribbean. That is a free kick against Syracuse. Will Cleary is brought down. Leibold is down again. The clock will stop. Landon Darko will come into the game for Leibold, who receives an applause from the Syracuse faithful.
And you hope it's just cramping as well for Leibold, which is to be expected. First time he's playing this many minutes in a year, basically. So.
Yeah, since really struggling to get back to full fitness.
Yep.
Been injured for the rest of the 2024 season. Could be a very important player for Syracuse this season. That will be a Syracuse throw. Can Syracuse play quickly? Mentor Jr. will tell Sakil Ming to leave it for him. Stanford get numbers back. Another throw for the Orange. Darko has just come on. Darko wins another throw. Syracuse right now don't have a Palmer Bang to have a long throw. It's Sakil Ming's cross. Nuto Nucci, Darko, Christie, Syracuse pandemonium. Syracuse lead number 8 Stanford with just over 14 minutes to go. Chimre Omese gets his first of the season. What a time to get it.
Oh, it's the second chance, sometimes the third chance opportunities. Chimre Omese, the man who can play anywhere on the pitch, just has a knack for being in the right place at the right time. Stanford lost track of him. Palmer Bank late to recover, and Omese has the composure to slip it past Rowan Schnebley, who thought he was going near post. He tucks it into the corner, and he deserves that one.
He was an all-ACC freshman last year. He was nominated by his head coach, Ian McIntyre, in the preseason ACC watch list. And what a moment to score your first of the season. Chimre Omese. And now Syracuse have 14 minutes to secure a huge upset win in their ACC opener against number 8 Stanford.
Ian McIntyre talked about it at halftime, where he was pleased with the way his team played in the first 45 minutes and admitted as well that, you know, it can be sloppy at times. It's not always going to be pretty. And while maybe it was a little fortunate that that deflection landed to Omese, he still needed to have the composure there to finish.
Offside flag is up again against Stanford. Should point out that if the result holds, this will be Coach McIntyre's 142nd win as head coach of Syracuse. That would break the records that is currently held by Dean Fody. Both him and Coach Mack level at 141. But it could mean even more than that if Syracuse can upset a Stanford team that was ranked number 1 just a week ago. And what an opportunity that has presented itself for the Orange. And we're getting a little bit of time wasting already from Syracuse. O'Hain. Nicely headed back by Holman. Taconi Gradius with the clearance initially. Omese battling against Palmer Bank. Here's Stanford throw. Bank with that long throw to his twin brother. Here's Fletcher Bank. Nicely defended by Tim Brodaric. Launched back by Taconi Gradius. Tomas Hutz does well to keep it in and control it.